Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar today with IE Business School, Navigating Your Career in Marketing and Communication. My name is Martina, and I will be the moderator on behalf of Unimi Masters team. I'm here with our special guest, and let me present him to you, Orianna. She is a manager at Global Recruitment and Program Specialist for Marketing, Communication, and Sales Masters at IE Business School. And Nada, she graduated IE Business School with degree at Digital Marketing and Analytics in 2018. Before giving the word to them, I want to tell everyone who is listening that you can ask your questions anytime during the webinar using the Q&A box, and we will take time to give you an answer at the end of the session. Thank you so much for joining us. And now I'm giving the floor to Orianna.
Thank you so much, Martina. As Martina said, indeed, I'm the program specialist for all the marketing and communication programs at IE University. So happy to meet you all. We're having here today Nada, who's also because I'm myself also a former student of IE. I did my master's degree in strategic marketing and communication back in 2016. Nada did the master in digital marketing and analytics, and later on we're going to be exchanging some of our experience as former students in this webinar to just give you a glimpse of how enrolling at this university will be like, and also studying one of our marketing programs. Before we start, I would like to know if everybody's able to listen to me properly, and if that is the case, please reply yes through the chat bot. I will also encourage you guys just to get a sense of our audience here today, to write on the chat or unmute your microphones and tell us where are you coming from. It would be super nice to just get a sense of our pool of prospective students here today. Also understand your interest, if you are interested in a particular area of marketing, as marketing has multiple branches, and we're gonna talk about that later on in detail here. So let me see the chat to see if we're getting some of your comments. If we have sort of like a shy crew, we can also leave that towards the end, so we can just go over your doubts and also get a glimpse of the audience that we have here today. I'm going to go ahead and share my presentation. Wait a second. Great. So, welcome to IE University. I understand that some of you may already know about our university, but for the ones who don't, I'm going to give a brief intro about our school. We are an international school located in Spain, specifically in Madrid, which is the capital of Spain. I describe Madrid as a vibrant city, number one among study abroad destinations, also a place where 40% of multinational corporations have headquarters, so a huge business movement as well in the city. More than 30 companies are created on a daily basis, and 43% of Spanish startups are founded here in Madrid. Okay. I have a video. So now you get a sense of what, a study abroad experience living here in Madrid would look like. We are, as I said before, an international school based in Spain, where we have more than 8,000 graduate and postgraduate students. We are a diverse school as well, with more than 140 different nationalities. To talk in percentages, 81% of our student body is international. 52% of them are women. And what was born as a small business school back in the 70s, right, today is a benchmark in business education, but also grew in terms of, the different portfolios of programs that we are able to offer, based on the fact that we now diversified our portfolio, and we offer programs either in science, technology, law, business, global and public affairs, design, and so on. We also offer undergrad degrees as well, and our host city for undergrad degrees is both Madrid and Segovia, as we also have a campus in Segovia. Now here you can also see, the different, you know, the profile of students here at the school. As I said, super international. More than 45 different languages are spoken on campus, and we have more than 100 active clubs as well. The great thing about clubs is that they are 100% run by students, meaning that if you take part in a club, you're going to be 100% responsible for coordinating the different activities and, inviting top executives into campus to coordinate talks, workshops. That is also a great opportunity for you to do a little bit of networking. Plus, also gives you the opportunity to enroll in extracurricular activities that you feel passionate about, as we have clubs per geographic distribution, because we have clubs per country, per sports. So you have, a broad set of options there. And if you don't find one of your particular interests, you can also start your own club. So, what is it that you're going to be doing here, right? You're going to become a leader with a global vision, an entrepreneurial mindset, and a humanistic approach to drive innovation and change within companies and organizations. You're going to be part as well of an extensive global network of students, professors, and companies that share hands on experience, trends, and insights about business today. Okay. We're not the typical school. We really strive for four core values, and those are entrepreneurship. You're going to find always a business component in all of our programs, as we were born as a business school. We believe that that is key, even though if today we're talking about marketing programs, right? Even if you're going to become a marketing professional, you have to have key business components to be able to do a pitch, to be able to work on your soft skills, to communicate effectively an idea that you have, even if you have to pitch an idea internally, right? To be able to manage a P&L and a budget of a marketing campaign as well. So that's the reason why we really strive for entrepreneurship, inculcating those business concepts, and helping you to develop that entrepreneurial mindset to drive innovation and change for your own company, or if you're going to take part in someone else's project, right? Or at a corporation that you're working with. And so, aside from that, a humanistic approach to really understand human experiences, to work on those soft skills as well, to be able to communicate effectively and to be able to convey the right message. Aside from that, innovation and technology, because we believe that it's key nowadays, right? We have to catch up with technology, otherwise we're going to be left behind. And we want you to feel really, comfortable just taking over innovation and driving change within corporations and organizations as well, to be really familiarized with the new trends, tech trends out there. Aside from that, global vision, right? We're talking about diversity, right? And not just, diversity in terms of, having more than 85 different, nationalities in a classroom. It's actually more than that, because we also strive for diversity in terms of your academic background and your professional experience. So here you're going to be able to build your own path, because you're going to be, also able to work on your personal life, right? There is a strong component of the academic experience overall, but then you're going to be able to work as well on your personal life, right? You're going to spend a year in Madrid. You're going to be able to make friends. You're going to be able to engage in a multicultural experience, and you're going to as well, discover different places and travel. So we do think that it's you know um, basically a complement of both the academic experience that you're going to have, and also, your personal life here, and the year that you're going to be spending in Madrid, also, growing as a person. So, are you ready to join this ride? Now we're gonna enter deeply into marketing, right? Here I have a video that our great marketing department created, just to, help you visualize the different career paths that you can follow if you opt for a program in marketing. We have an extensive marketing portfolio offering niche programs, right? covering customer experience and innovation, digital marketing and analytics. You also have one which is the most creative one, right? A program that goes very in line with graphic design. Aside from that, you also have one in market research and consumer behavior, which is a mix between research and psychology. So you have different, niche programs, and as well one that it's a little bit more generalistic, I would say, which is the Master in Strategic Marketing and Communications, which is great as well because it gives you a 360-degree picture of marketing. But that is just, an example of the different branches that marketing has, right? Because we tend to, you know, immediately relate marketing just with the creative side of it, but you can actually do different things within marketing. And I'm going to share this video for you to illustrate that. Technical
The platform is
difficulties
losing the sound and there's only a
happens all the
picture.
time, so
Yeah,
no worries. I'll be sharing both videos at the end of the presentation just for you
great,
guys to check it
great.
out later on. But what I wanted to show on this video is basically, the different career outcomes that you have in marketing, okay? Because it's a really extensive field, right? You can either opt for a creative career if you want to tackle just the creative side of marketing in content generation, right? To work maybe as a creative director, right? Or whereas if you want to, do something a little bit, more specific and that works on hard skills, right? Opting for a career in market research, right? To really understand people, why they do certain things at the time of purchasing a product, and to be able to conduct, right, a market research to really gather insights. Or you can also opt for, being, a specialist in omni-channel strategy to be able to master different digital platforms to distribute information. Nada probably is going to be able to share, a little bit more of insights on this, as she did the master in digital marketing and analytics. But I mean, those are just some of the paths that you can find within marketing, right? We are also seeing, as part of the trends in the sector, that now, on the corporate ladder, they're also putting CSR and CSB initiatives under the umbrella of marketing, because usually marketing departments also take care of that. Fundraising as well. We are seeing, that also, it's key for marketing, specialists to be able to drive innovation and change and to take over digital transformation, because they're, the speakers of the company, right? They're the communication agents that have to drive that change from top to bottom. So I mean, it's a really, really extensive field. And I just wanted to give you, the different examples for you to explore the different options that you have within marketing. Now, our portfolio, right? The different programs that we offer in marketing. Okay. Now we're going to share just a single program structure where you're going to be mixed within a core period, right? Basically, what we do is we have 5 different programs in marketing, and on the core period, you're going to be mixed between programs, right? Because you're going to tackle their business essentials. So, strategic marketing and branding, customer insights and experience, creative management, strategy as well, digital marketing, and then business development and sales, right? Because that is also another branch of marketing if you want to go more for, business development and taking over a commercial team, right? Doing sales. Then after that core period where you're going to be mixed between marketing programs, you're going to go right away with the program, the specialized program that you're going to select, right? We have, as I said, 5 different options for you. You can either enroll in our Master in Customer Experience and Innovation, which is a program that studies everything that has to do with the customer journey, making processes customer centric, and really, make processes within an organization as customer oriented as they can be, right? Then we have another one in creative direction, content and branding, which is the one that goes more in line with graphic design. So probably the most creative program within the portfolio, where you're going to be, delivering the tactical part of marketing, working on, call it a video editing, call it a photography sequence, or call it maybe web development, right? So the most creative one. Then you have also a program in digital marketing and analytics, which is a program that teaches you how to create an omni-channel strategy and to be able to master digital platforms to distribute information, pretty much in line as well with research, because you really need to understand how to gather data and how to take a look at a dashboard to really, extract data, analyze data, and then make strategic decisions based on that data. And then you have one in market research and consumer behavior that studies also the research side of marketing, adding to it a psychological twist, because they really study consumer behavior, right? And behavioral science to really understand why a person makes certain decisions at the time of purchasing a product. And then after finalizing your specialized master, you're going to go right away with an optional period. It's not mandatory, it's compulsory. It also includes an additional cost if you want to extend the program 3 more months, where you're going to be able to also specialize not by area, but also per industry. We're going to launch this year for the first time two career boosters, one in luxury and the other one it's going to be in martech, um, where you can also specialize per industry, right? So we give you the opportunity to specialize by area, right? And also by industry. If you don't want to do a career booster, you can also do an internship or enroll in an international exchange. Okay, I'm going to be also talking about the different exchanges that we offer through the program, because we have two. You can either go for London or Ghana for an immersion week. So it's a week-long exchange where you're going to be able to travel to both of those destinations to do different, field trips, company visits. You're going to have different speakers, and you're going to have the opportunity to also do a little bit of networking across programs, and also with top executives in the field in that specific market. Okay. So full-time programs, all of them have a duration of 10 months. They have a single intake in September, and we offer private degrees. Okay. As I said, the first one, Mastering Market Research and Consumer Behavior, where you're going to understand consumer motivations. You're going to learn different research and analytical methods. You're going to master data gathering, and you're going to work in three different real projects in collaboration with companies like Kantar, Nielsen, and then you have a final project, a final consulting project with Macan. Here you can check also some of our former students, right? Where they're working, what they're doing, where they come from, as we have a pretty diverse pool of students in our programs. We also have the master in creative direction, content, and branding, which is the one that I said that it's pretty much in line with graphic design, where you're going to master, you know, content like production, photography, lighting, and video. You're going to be able to develop branding and content creation strategies. You're going to master as well Adobe Creative Cloud tools for graphic design like Photoshop, InDesign, and so on. And you're going to work in collaboration with Llorente Cuenca on a final consulting project, where you're going to have to, create a marketing campaign for a client that Llorente Cuenca will assign you. Llorente Cuenca is a communication consulting company pretty big here in Spain. You can check also here some of our alumni, where they're working, right? We have different, creative directors. We also have different brand managers as well. For example, Lara Val, who's working as a creative manager for TikTok as well. So you have a lot of diversity in that sense as well in terms of career projection. And then we have the master in digital marketing and analytics, where you're going to be able, if we take a look at the different key differentiators in terms of content, you're going to be able to, create a digital marketing campaign from zero to implementation and result analysis. Because here, as I said before, it's about really understanding how to extract data, analyze data, and then make strategic decisions based on that data. So you're going to master data analysis, cloud marketing, and digital analytics. You're going to be able to optimize customer engagement through omni-channel strategy. And here, this year, students are going to work for their final consulting project with IKEA, who's already confirmed for this intake. And they also have a bootcamp with Amazon Web Services. So let me welcome Nada Halawi, who's here as a guest speaker today. She's also a former student of the Master in Digital Marketing and Analytics. So I really want to welcome you, Nada, and thank you for being here today. She's working for Amazon Web Services as an enterprise account executive. She did the program a couple of years ago, and so Nada, welcome. I don't know if you want to introduce also yourself and tell us a little bit about your experience in the program.
No.
I do think that it's really important to also, showcase, because I do get a lot of prospective candidates a little bit afraid of the fact that this program goes pretty much in line with data analytics. Sometimes, candidates get a little bit scared about it. So I really want you to, be able to share with them your experience in the program, and to tell them a little bit how, this is handled through the program, and how much would you say that it's the percentage that they cover for analytics in the program.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you, Oriana, and everyone that's here on the call. So my name is Nada, as Oriana mentioned. Um, yeah, no, I'll tell you maybe a bit more about my background and then a bit more about my experience at IE, and within this program itself. But so I'm originally Lebanese. I lived half my life in Canada and then the other half in Saudi Arabia. I think you'll see a lot of us mixes at IE. Actually, I think that was the most international, really the most international environment I've ever been in. I had worked or I had studied also marketing back in my bachelor's, but it was more of a general marketing. And then I worked in a retail company. Some of you might know it. It's called Aldo. And there I was working more in account management. So that's a bit more in sales. And I decided to do my master's in digital marketing because at the time I was working more with e-commerce websites and doing sales through them. So B2B sales at the time. And I just realized that, in retail especially, a lot of, the world is going more towards, buying online. The traditional retail stores were dying out, right? So it's a lot more about the digital platforms. So I really wanted to get back into that. And I decided to do this master's. It's definitely not heavy on the analytics. I need to be very clear on this. It's definitely a big portion of it, but it's not what this program is about. Um, I would say, at the beginning, it's more about learning, how the digital world has really affected traditional marketing. And those courses are really just explaining that. What are the new technologies that we're talking about? So I remember that was the first time I'd ever heard about cloud, to be completely honest. Oddly enough, I work in that today. That was the first time I had heard about blockchain, about all these different technologies that we were talking about. And still, I had no idea what we were talking about until the courses really started and we started doing just really fun experiments, actually, like virtual reality with our phones, and some of those were our assignments, or augmented reality, let's be clear. um, and it was just a lot about that at the beginning. I would say as we moved through the course, we got a bit more also about the creative side. So we did have a lot about storytelling, not just because it's a creative side, but also when you see numbers, there's a lot of stories to tell with the numbers. So we did have to, for example, understand, is this customer somebody we want to keep? Is there are they worth reinvesting in? Are we going to do a 360 marketing campaign to target them, or is it really just online? So while there is numbers and digital analytics, and we got our certification in Google Analytics at the time, I wouldn't say that's the heavy workload, right? It's just more about how can I make sense out of the data that I'm collecting online about my customers. Um, does it make sense that the logo is on the top right instead of the top left? Because guess what? Automatically, you'll go directly to your top left just to go back to the home page, right? And those kind of things are the analytics that we look at when we're studying the digital marketing. So I would say the program was very much about that. You take what you want from it. At the end of the day, I personally am more of a numbers person, or else I would not have ended up at AWS. A lot more people I know in my intake were more on the marketing and creativity side. They did not want to be, creating briefs and responding to that and actually producing those marketing campaigns, but they wanted to be the people that could pitch the ideas, right? So there's a lot of different sides that you can go into it. And yeah, I would say that's a bit more about the program. I can definitely go into more details. I just thought I'd keep it a bit high level for now.
Thank you so much, Nada.
My
Aside
pleasure.
from that, because as I shared before, for this intakes, we already have confirmed IKEA for that final consulting project that you guys have. And so I just wanted to ask you about your experience in that final consulting project. I'm also a former student, but from the Master in Strategic Marketing and Communication, and I also had the opportunity to work on a final consulting case with which I think it was one of the most valuable things from the entire experience because it actually gives you the opportunity to work as a real consultant for an actual company. So what was your experience? Did you work with IKEA or did you work with another company? Because we tend to
Yeah.
rotate companies each single intake. So I just wanted, I think it would be super valuable for prospective candidates here today to hear also about that final project and basically what was your task at that
Yeah.
final project.
Oof. I remember that, not in details, but I do. But we did work with Coca-Cola at the time. The experience was very clear from them. We had a brief. We had gone to their offices, met with their marketing teams, what their brief was, what they were looking to do. It was more towards a product launch. So I don't remember the name today, excuse me, but it was a tea, I think, that we had to release into the market out in Spain. It was more specific towards Spain as well. And we had to work on that and create a 360 marketing campaign for it. Trying to remember the details. It's a bit difficult since it's been about 5 years at this point. But it was actually really, what I do remember though, it was really exciting. Again, my team, we were a bit more of different profiles. So depending on even the number of years of experience or different backgrounds. So I had studied in marketing, worked in sales. Somebody else had been, working for about 6 or 7 years before digital marketing as well. We were really different. The way we had done it right was starting with the product. For example, tea versus coffee. I remember that. How do we position it in Spain, where tea is not really existent, versus coffee really is? The really realizing, right, that what's the market trend? Are we moving more towards healthy, more not? How do we position tea as more healthy than coffee? How do we do all of that? We did get some support, at least from Coca-Cola at the time, in terms of gathering some of the data that we knew they had that we didn't have in order to make it a point. But I think the most fun part for us, at least, was creating the different profiles, at least for the customers that we wanted to target. And there we would just put faces and names and just creating their journeys. And then we ended up presenting that to Coca-Cola after I think it took us about 2 months to build it. But that was a lot of fun. I do remember that. I just remember more the experience and the actual project, like IE in general. It's more about the IE experience for me.
Thank you so much, Nada. Last question, because then I'm gonna leave also 10 minutes for Q&A at the end
Mhm.
for our participants just to make questions to both of us about, if there is a program related question, I can take it, but if it's something specific about your experience as a former student, then we can also redirect that for you, Nada. But last question, why IE over other schools? What do you think are, the key things that made you, make your decision to go to IE instead of other university?
I'm a bit of a peculiar case. I kind of had IE in mind since I was 16. So why though? I had done a couple of exchange semesters also in Spain. So one of them was throughout high school where we were doing, a couple of weeks there for Spanish courses. And it just made up my mind. And a cousin of mine, she did the master's in management around the same time. I think that was actually 10 years ago in 2013. And I just remember her talking about how much she loved Madrid and how much she loved IE, and I had set my mind to that. But I mean, realistically, yes, I did research other universities. I had gotten accepted into 5 or 6 other universities in Europe, and it was just time to decide. And for me, it just made a lot more sense. One, IE has a different spirit. I would say it's a lot more about the hands-on experience. It's a lot more about being an entrepreneur rather than the academic side. The academics are great, you are going to study, but your real experience comes from the people that you're meeting, but also what you're going to do later on. I just felt that also just looking and speaking to people who had attended IE, we would have like global meetups. Like I was in Montreal at the time, and we would have a Montreal meetup, and I'd meet people, and it's really the most diverse people I had met even in Canada at that time, which for me was a surprise. So it's quite easy to just say, hey, IE has my heart at that time. And then I'm not going to complain. I mean, I'm in Madrid looking out my window, enjoying Madrid so much. I'm still here. That was one of the favorite years of my life. I would just say there's an experience overall that nobody can explain. It's not tangible even. That would be my, my answer at the end of the day.
No, I completely agree because as I was explaining in the beginning, I think that the academic experience is as important as, your personal life at the end of the day, because you have to pick a city where you feel
Yeah,
comfortable, because you're going to be fostering and fomenting, you from a professional perspective, but also on a personal
yeah,
level as well. So it's as
definitely.
important. Also, one of the main drivers, at least for me, right, to enroll in a program and to come to study here in Spain. So I completely agree with you. I'm gonna share my screen just to,
Okay,
finalize explaining the other programs that we have in marketing as well. Also trends in marketing, and then we can open the floor for Q&A. Okay.
okay.
Thank you so much, Nada.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna be sharing again my screen so we can continue. That was the Master in Digital Marketing and Analytics, the one that Nada was explaining to you guys. And we also offer a program in customer experience and innovation, where you're going to be able to learn to implement innovation to deliver value to customers. You're going to be able to master project management skills and product development. Also, you're going to master skills in order to be able to improve processes through design thinking, human service design, agile methodology, and others. Here, for this specific program, they work on 3 different hands-on projects, right? They have a final consulting case on customer experience with IKEA, but they also work on a social impact project, and they're going to be working as well on a social entrepreneurship project with the Impact Hub, where they're going to have to develop a business plan, but with the with the social impact focus. Now, last but not least, the Master in Strategic Marketing and Communication, which is a program that I did back in 2016. As I said, this is probably the most generalistic one. Gives you a 360-degree picture of communication, management, and digital strategies. I always say that this is sort of like the MBA of marketing, right? Because you tackle here all the branches within marketing. So for the ones of you who don't have a background in marketing, which is the case, for example, for Nada, who opted for a more niche program in digital marketing rather than doing a generalistic program in marketing as she did her bachelor's in marketing. I would say that for the ones of you who come from a different background, from a different academic background, and you've never had the opportunity to have an academic experience in marketing, this would be probably a good fit for you because it's going to give you that 360-degree vision of marketing. Okay, whereas for the ones who already have a background in marketing, you're going to maybe find a little bit of overlap in that sense. But yes, okay, so like the MBA of marketing, as an MBA gives you a 360-degree picture of how a company works, here you get that, but within marketing. You master storytelling, branding, purpose driven communications. You dive into corporate governance, reputation management, and also CSR initiatives. And for this one, this year, we're going to be working in collaboration with CEPSA and Novartis. We've worked in the past with companies like Mondelez, L'Oreal, and usually, as I said, we tend to rotate those companies. But for this fall 2023, confirmed Novartis and CEPSA. This program has also a part-time version, which is the Executive Master in Strategic Marketing and Communication. This one, it's a little bit different, right? Because it's a little bit longer, 15 months instead of 10, which is the case for the full time, and the intake is in April. So this one is about to start a month away from today. And this is a part-time program, right? The majority of the sessions are going to be held online, aside from 3 face-to-face weeks where students come to Madrid to take their classes in person. Okay. The first week and the last one are mandatory. However, the one in the middle, it's optional. Okay, based on the fact that for this program, you're able to work in parallel, because it's not the case for the full-time programs. For full-times, we do not recommend you to work in parallel, as they're super intense. So we don't recommend you to work in parallel or do an internship, a part-time job, because those are super intense. For this one, yes, you can work in parallel because it's part-time. It's a little bit longer in order for you to be able to work in parallel. And you only have live sessions on Saturdays, right? From Mondays to Fridays, asynchronous activities like panel discussions, you know, different recordings that you have to check, group work that you have to, get through. But aside from that, live sessions only on Saturdays. And this one has an executive profile, right? For this one, we do request you to have at least 3 years of full-time experience prior to joining the program, which is not the case for full-time programs. As for full-time programs, we don't request you to have prior professional experience. On this program, as I said before, face-to-face periods and different online sessions that are going to take place on Saturdays. In terms of content, as I said before, it's a program that gives you a 360-degree picture of marketing, because you learn about communication strategies in the digital age. You also get that 360-degree picture of marketing, because you tackle, all branches of marketing, from reputation management, CSR initiatives, customer experience and innovation. It's tackled there as well. Digital within marketing. You're going to have classes on strategy, entrepreneurship, research methodologies. So a little bit of everything, right? To give you that 360-degree picture of marketing. Here you can check also some of our former students for this program. And you find there also diversity in terms of industry and areas and positions, right? Now, how align our programs according to the most demanded skills, right? According to the World Economic Forum. We see that within, analytical thinking and innovation skills, all our programs cover that, but the ones that cover that more in detail are the ones in market research and consumer behavior, customer experience and innovation, and you also have digital marketing. Okay. If we go towards creativity, which is also one of the most demanded skills according to the World Economic Forum, we see that all our marketing programs cover that, but the ones that cover that more in depth are the master in creative content, branding, and the one in strategic marketing and communication. Okay, and then regarding critical thinking and analysis, you see that all of them cover this in detail. Okay, you can check here also some of our top faculty. Here we are proud to say that the majority of our faculty members are practitioners, meaning that even though they teach at IE, okay, they're adjunct professors and they keep their full-time jobs, which is great because they're also able to share, vivid examples and real day-to-day situations that they have at work with the class, okay? So let's move on into trends, right? Why marketing is so important, right? Well, we see that in terms of career projection within the business school, because our programs belong to the business school, but even taking into consideration the international MBA and the master in management, we see that the majority of our students tend to work on a marketing related role after pursuing graduation. So it's a growing field, and it's a field that evolved so much, right? Based on the fact that we have now multiple channels to be able to distribute information. And as we see that, I mean, there's no unidirectional communication at this point, right? We're talking about bidirectional communication where we are also able to generate content and to get a response from our consumers, right? Because they spend a lot of time in different platforms, and they're able to also give us feedback to be able to mold a product and to be able to respond to the necessities of that end consumer, right? As I mean, it's incredible to see that, people nowadays spend so many time in, for example, Instagram, right? How many videos are uploaded on YouTube, right? So huge audiences out there that are also able to give us feedback and to communicate with us, because communication is no longer, in one direction, right? We have bidirectional communication nowadays. And also everything is on demand, right? Now consumers are able to speak and to really select their content, and we're able to, based on algorithms and artificial intelligence, to recommend things to our customers, right? So despite the pandemic, we see that marketeers are more in demand than ever. We see, this is a study that we did with LinkedIn Insights on marketing, right? We see that 63%, there is a 63% growth in marketing jobs in the last 6 months, and we see that 381K marketing jobs are posted in the last year. We are also seeing a rise in the most demanded jobs, as chief digital officers, right? We see a growth in e-commerce managers as well, just to tackle, marketing related roles, social media managers, SEO and SEM specialists as well. So we do see a great opportunity for marketing specialists out there. It's also, as I said, a super broad field where you don't have to stick to one single thing, because you can work also across different industries like e-commerce, branding, PR agencies, market research, startups. So you have different options there. Media productions for the most, crafty or creative ones as well. Here you can see also our top recruiters in campus. Okay. And what marketing skills are in demand, right? We see that it's no longer, okay just to stick with core marketing foundations, but to really dig into Adobe Analytics, to cover digital strategy, to be able to think critically, to master communication skills, right? Skills in web analytics as well, to be able to extract data, and so on. So it's a mix at the end of the day between soft and hard skills. And then also, in terms of trends, right, we are seeing that, as I said, marketing is super broad, but we're seeing that within the umbrella of marketing, we find four key categories, such as corporate social responsibility, which is also under the umbrella of marketing. We are seeing that now it's no longer, sufficient just to do a good job and to be able to market your product effectively, but also to be socially responsible, right? Because a recent study showed that, people is willing to spend 60% more on a product if they realize, or if they discover that that brand is socially responsible, right? So we're seeing, things like sustainable packaging, right? That boosts sales because people, tend to have a stronger connection with the company or the brand if they realize that they are socially responsible. Or the ones who are able to link, their product with the social cost, like it is the case of Tom's, because we're talking in that case about corporate social value, right? They were able to, work on economies of scale to lower the cost of a product by producing more, because now we have to increase or double the production, right? For a pair of shoes, because once you buy, a pair of shoes from Tom's, another pair is going to go directly to a person in need that doesn't have shoes, right? And then in terms of automation and AI, which is also another important category within marketing, we are seeing that, companies now are even able to, adapt situations and work on recommendations based on algorithms, and, based on the preferences that they realize that a customer has, right? Which is the case of, for example, Amazon Go, and AliExpress. Okay. Then customer experience as well, being able to give you that protagonism as a client, to be able one great example is Nike and their platform for you to be able to personalize your shoes, right? And those are some of the examples of, the different trends in marketing and the rise, or need for marketing specialists. Okay. Now, last, I'm gonna cover also the reasons to choose a program with us, and it's the fact that you're gonna be able to learn by doing. Okay. As we said before, it's super hands-on. The opportunity that you're gonna have here, it's either to work on real cases, to work directly with a client that we're gonna assign you. So it's as real as it can get. Also, the fact that 72% of the assignments are done in teams, so you're going to be able to work in teams and to learn as well from your classmates. You're going to be able to specialize your studies as you have different niche programs as well. Industry leaders, as I said, practitioners who bring their real examples to class and share it with you guys. Also, the experience of experiencing the world of work, as you're going to be working with companies like Amazon, Nielsen, Llorente Cuenca, etc. Right? Mastering in-demand skills, as we are also able to help you to master, Adobe Creative Cloud tools, CRM tools, analytic tools as well. For digital marketing, you have also a bootcamp with Amazon Web Services, and we have different certifications for you to specialize either on sales, on sustainability. Aside from that, you also have a certification with Amazon Web Services, and we have also one with Google Analytics. And aside from that, Markham Speaker Series, right? We have our sort of TED Talks, but based on marketing, where we bring, different top executives into campus to share, with our students their learnings, the challenges that they've been through, and to have more of an informal conversation with our prospective candidates. We brought, executives from Amazon, HBO, and we have a really nice agenda for this year. As I said, certifications, right? Google Academy, Amazon Web Services. We have one in digital analytics. We have one in Salesforce, right, on sales. A sustainability one. Those are optional features of the program. Okay, you can opt for a certification, or if you don't want to, you don't have to do it. It's compulsory. And then you have also exchanges, the Global Immersion Weeks, where you can either opt for a week in Ghana, or you can also opt for a week in London. Aside from that, we also have a well-being and sports center here at IE, because for us, it's super important to also encourage your well-being and to foster, activities like that. Clubs, as I said before, that are 100% run by students. Um, one great example is the marketing club. They're super active. They recently have hosted a marketing day here at the campus, and they put together such an incredible event, with different workshops. They invited top executives in marketing. They even organized a gala, so they're super active. And if you check their LinkedIn site, you can also take a look at the different activities that they have here on campus, the entrepreneurship center for you to, work on our incubator. Um, and then, I mean, IE Library that enables you to get subscriptions on different news letters as well. Our talent and careers department that is going to be able to support you through the way through career advising, because you're going to be assigned with a career advisor. They also provide to you different resources to educate yourself in terms of career projection, recruiter relations, as we run different talent forums and career fairs in campus as well for you to meet top recruiters. And I mean, the list goes on and on, but we only have an hour. I'm gonna leave the next 5 minutes for you to make us some questions, okay? But you can also follow us on our social media um, channels if you want to also engage on a conversation with us and to check our upcoming events. I want to thank you guys for being here today, and I'm going to be sharing as well my contact information in case we don't have enough time now for you to just pitch me an email and we can also continue the conversation